Hi, I'm Will with Lanaak. In this video I'm going to show you how to set up your new pink fishing kit. Let's get started. Everything comes in this bag. We got the net, fishing rod and reel, and the tackle box. For this video we want the rod and reel. It should arrive like this. There's this plastic tip protector on the end. Go ahead, pop that off and throw it in your bag. That protects the rod while we're traveling, but we don't need it for fishing. Next, let's talk vocab. We got the telescopic fishing rod. It extends, more on that later. We've got the pink reel. This is an open face spinning reel. We got this plastic threaded thing right here on the rod. That's the reel clamp. Go ahead and make sure that's snug. This is an important bit here, right here. This metal hoop with this black roller. That's the bail and the roller. We're going to talk about that later. And then we've got the handle of the reel. So first step, there's a hinge in the handle of this reel. We're going to want to fold the handle out so it's like that. Next thing, there's a little black switch here at the top of the reel. This switch that I'm flipping back and forth. Keep it off to the left. On one side it's an anti-reverse. So the next step, we want to find the tip of the line. Tip of the line should arrive tucked under this little red tab. Mine's right there. I'm just going to grab it and pull it out. You might need something to pick at it with, but grab it and pull it right out. And we're going to get started stringing up the pole. So the trick here is the line needs to flow off of the spool and under the bail before it goes out to the eyelets in the rod. So I'm going to thread this line under the bail and behind the black roller. That's the key bit right there, behind the black roller. And then we've got 4 eyelets in the rod, and we're going to thread the tip of the line through each of those eyelets. You can do this with the rod extended or with the rod collapsed, but I like to do it with the rod collapsed. So I pinch about 1 inch of line out from the tip of my fingers, and then I'm just going to take that, pass it through each of these eyelets. Alright, so now I got the line running off of the spool, behind the bail and the roller, and through each of the 4 eyelets. So I can pull out couple armloads of line. Now we're going to extend the pole. So the trick here, keep the reel pointing down. That keeps gravity on your side. All the eyelets will hang down also. And then I pulled out several arm lengths of line, so we got some line to work with. And then starting with the fattest section, I'm going to extend each section of the pole. And I'm doing this real gently right now. I'm going to come back and tighten everything up in a second. So I get everything, get the pole extended. Now what we want is each of those eyelets to be in a straight line, even with the center of the rod here. So they're close, but they're not quite perfect. You can line them up, sight down the pole, and then you can snug up each of these joints as you go. And when you're snugging them up, it's a gentle snugness. No need to pull on it too hard. If you pull on them too hard, it can be hard to get it to collapse again. Now I've got the pole extended, the line running behind the roller through each of the 4 eyelets. One other thing we want to check before we get it set up is the tightness of the drag. So the drag is controlled by this pink knob on the top of the reel. It'll turn both directions. What the drag does is it sets how much tension is required to pull line off of the reel. And you want this to require some force, but not so much that the line breaks. And what that does is if you catch a big fish and the fish takes off swimming away from you, it lets it pull line off the reel instead of snapping your line. So tighten this knob till it's on the tighter end of things, and you should be able to feel. If you catch a fish and you can't reel in any line, tighten up your drag a bit. So that gets this rod and reel set up and ready to rig. Check out our next videos. We've got a video on casting and reeling, and then we've got a fishing skills video where we talk about different ways to rig up the line, how to tie the knots, and with that you should be ready to get started fishing. Thank you and happy fishing.